So has Formula E been able to flex some of its muscle to fend off Nick Heidfeld and his new Formula G series? So earlier on in the year, we heard the former Williams Sauber F1 driver Nick Heidfeld had decided to set up his own single-seater racing series. Interestingly though, it would be an electric racing series, pretty much on par with that of Formula E, or at least trying to compete with it. This technical partnership that he had put together with himself and members of the former Mahindra team and the Neo team had decided to build a car that would have a maximum output of 350 kilowatts and would effectively be a competitor for Formula E. However, that story has now changed ever so slightly. Now, is this Formula E perhaps maybe flexing this muscle a little bit with the fact it has FIA backing? So Nick Heidfeld's single-seater electric racing series, as we know, will still be 350 kilowatts, and to be honest with you, the design is absolutely amazing. Now, the car's been designed by Daniel Simon. He's known for designing vehicles for movies such as Tron Legacy, Oblivion and Top Gun Maverick. And let's be honest, it looks like something that's just rolled off of a Hollywood movie set. I really think Formula E could learn something from this design, and I hope they incorporate some elements of it into the new Gen 4 car, because I'm going to go out on a limb here and I think it actually looks more striking and more interesting than the current Gen 3 car. Now, that's not to say that, that's only a concept and it's not likely to change, but it could. Let's be honest about it, we know what concept cars are like, they're never the real thing. However, what's interesting is it doesn't have the full FIA backing for a championship series. The only electric racing series for single-seater that has that is Formula E. So with Nick Heidfeld not being able to grant that ability to the series, it looks like they've gone off in a separate direction. And they've actually gone on record to basically say this will be a feeder series for Formula E. So is this possibly maybe Formula E standing up and taking its own and saying, no, we are the premium single-seater electric racing series? Quite possibly. However, what is interesting is the car that actually has come from Nick Heidfeld and his team, although it's a single design and it will be a one-off design shell that drivers will get to race with, it's actually got two different modes. It's a low power mode for younger, more inexperienced drivers to get used to driving and how to drive around a track, and a higher performance mode designed for the more experienced drivers to feed them into other electric racing series, predictably Formula E. What is interesting, however, is they've made the claim that there will be aero ability with downforce capabilities on this FG car, something the present Formula E cars don't possess. Now, we have been told that the Gen 4 car of Formula E will have downforce capability. So these two things could be running hand in hand. We don't yet have a release date for when the FG car is likely to be rolled out, or when we're likely to see it start feeding into Formula E. However, with most drivers still currently in contract till the end of the season, it's not likely to change anything on the current calendar for at least the next couple of years. However, it is quite interesting how the mood and the language has now shifted from this being a competitor to Formula E to now being almost a feeder and assistant to Formula E. And I can't help think that perhaps maybe that's got something to do with the FIA backing of Formula E and their ability to flex their muscle a little bit now. Look at the current race calendar, that's expanding, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So I really think Formula E is starting to take a little bit of a step up here and take itself a little bit more seriously with the other contenders that are out there, and long may that continue.